Hello everyone. Welcome to our Get-It-Right Season2 Episode 2. Yes. Hello. You know, Teochew, why are we saying this actually? And then, today we're also going to talk about something to do with jelly, something to do with WeChat, something to do with 孙燕姿 as well, and it's all connected to Teochew. And why Teochew? Later during the show, Qi will actually share with you more. So it's going to be a very fun and again entertaining episode of Get It Right. But what we hope you can do is really help us like and share our video first. I'm going to do it myself and Jeanette.
Yes.
Go.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. Please like and share our video.
Yeah.
It will be very fun and interesting. Okay. Actually, we in fact over the weekends, right? The three of us.
Yeah.
Plus, there's a 小帅哥, a food center.
Yes.
So it's really interesting to spend the morning. I think in the morning we met and then we do some research. Yeah. So later we are going to show you.
Yeah, I realize that when we cannot multitask, no, I'm not sure my mouth cannot talk. Yeah, it's like I'm trying to say something yet my mouth,
Yes.
Okay, so I hope you guys are sharing our video. This is episode 2, right? Okay, right? Yes. So if you can just help us like and share our video, and we'll be starting in just 1 second. Okay, my connection. Let me do it. Let me do the sharing myself first. Okay? Yeah. Yes. Oops. Okay, yes. So I think let's not get any further. Shall we again officially welcome all our? Okay. Let's look straight into the camera here. Officially welcome everyone to our Get It Right program. Okay. Hello everyone. Welcome to Get It Right Season 2 Episode 2. Yes. We're so happy to be back here. And for those who are watching Get It Right for the very first time, let us just introduce ourselves first, right? Hello, my name is Stephanie.
Hi, I'm Janet.
Hi, I'm Qi.
Yes. Okay, and really, this is like we shared very briefly. This is a brand new season of Get It Right, and what we Get It Right actually is a very fun program, right? Qi, how are you enjoying it so far?
But there's a lot of research.
Right? I think we doesn't have much of an expression, but inside her, she's very, very passionate and. We've been working together for 2 episodes now, and I think we've been really enjoying ourselves, especially the work on this episode and this topic because it's something that's really close to our heart. And what we aim to do at Get It Right program, right, is really to actually debunk some myths and on certain topic. And previously we've been doing on some various topics, right, like watermelon, durian, National Day, Hungry Ghost Festival. So moving forward. Yeah, we are looking, really very excited to share with all of you more and more, right? Yeah, so, yes.
So our first episode is about bras because all of us are girls.
Yes, that's without to say, I mean, it's obvious, female, yeah. Today,
and coincidentally, we are all Teochews again.
Yes.
Something similar.
Yes, for all of us. Yes.
Because we are on topic.
Yes.
Teochew.
Right? Yeah. I mean, coincidentally, all 3 of us are female, and all 3 of us are Teochew. So we thought, it will be very interesting to just come together and do one. Not too cultural, I guess. It's really trying to make it real fun for everybody. If you are a Teochew out there, if you feel the connection with us, I hope you can really, engage us a little bit more. But if you are non-Teochew, it's okay. I as a fellow Teochew, we hope that you will also learn a bit more about our language, our culture, and everything Teochew. Yes, okay, I have to see the script, right? Not, So, Qi, actually, you found out that Teochew, actually, the population, right? In fact, how big is the Teochew community in Singapore?
For Singapore, right, 75% is Chinese.
75% Chinese.
Teochew is the second largest dialect in Singapore.
Yeah, okay.
We form about 20%.
Right.
So the first, of course, the first ranking one is Hokkien.
Right.
Hokkien people.
Sure. So Teochew falls immediately into the second ranking, right? The number 2 largest dialect group in Singapore. So moving forward, yeah. So what's going to happen in part one? We want to share with you some fun facts that actually, obviously we've been around for quite a while, but that we've discovered quite a few things that as fellow Teochew, we were not even sure and we didn't even know it was the case, So, I think Jeanette has something very interesting to share with you. Maybe I can get Jeanette to share with you, Yeah, Jeanette, what you want to share? The number one.
Okay. Stephanie and Qi, have you heard of Teochew Chng?
Of course, I heard. I think
You know, actually, you know how the phrase comes about? This phrase.
Frankly, before we were doing this program, I have no idea, and I am always very puzzled, like why the Teochew Nang, the backside must be red one.
Right.
Always why Teochew Chng Chng is backside, right? Ang is red, right? Yeah. So I saw Janet actually found out actually some interesting background to this, right? Janet, you
Just
want
let
to
me
share?
because actually, like Stephanie and Qi, I also think that Chng means our backside very lah. I just want That's why I also think, because I was thinking that how come there's such a phrase? Then maybe I tell myself, maybe is it because that there's a difference between we Teochew versus other direct group, thinking that there's older time, maybe my grandparents.
No disrespect, but yeah, we were really.
That's why the phrase called Teochew Nang Chng That's why it comes, until now, recently we got this topic about Teochew, so we really go and Google search about this Teochew Nang Chng how it really comes about. So actually, we are just thinking from the Google. There's one article. It actually means that it's not really the refer to our backside. Okay, Ka means leg. Chng means actually it tie. Bang. Okay, means red, right? Okay, why it comes about? Because older times, right? The woman, the feet, right? They bound their feet with a 3-inch. So until 3 feet.
三寸哦，三寸啊。
3 inch.
Yes.
Until it turn red. So that's the word Ka Chng Ang. Then along the way, the pronunciation become backside Ang.
Yeah.
So that's how I found that, Ka Chng. And I did really verify with few senior people.
Yeah.
It's true. Actually, it means that older girls, the ladies, they bind their leg into very small, so it becomes ang. It's not.
So yeah. I mean, so the pronunciation actually is ka is the ka, the jiao. Chng is like bang. When our Teochew pronunciation, and means ang. But actually also very interestingly, right? Of course, that is so-called the pronunciation. But I think it's also this phrasing is a bit like kind of like mocking Teochew because there's the Teochew Nang are also known to be quite proud. Proud. So I think and this saying is actually the Ka Chng Ang is because it's referring to this animal baboon, right? 就是 baboon. And the baboon, the 屁股 backside is red one, yeah. And then the face actually pretty Hokkien looking, if you Google right now the baboon, 看起来就是 the face like, so but the backside is ang, so I guess it's also kind of like, trying to, a bit like mocking 有一点 like, 就经常好练, that kind of very proud. Yeah, so that's number one. For those of you, who have just joined us, welcome to Get It Right, our brand new season. And we are sharing about all things Teochew because coincidentally, the three of us are all Teochew Anya. And can we also maybe, if you can share with us in your comment, did you actually know about this, the background of this Teochew Nang Ka Chng Ang? We would love to know because frankly, when I spoke to my parents, they were not also sure, like, so你是Ka Chng Ang. So I mean, let's have some fun here. Can you just indicate to us whether, did you know about the story behind, or you're like us, we actually, just keep assuming that, 屁股红红. Yeah, so that's the number one, fun fact, right? And Chewy, you have another something to share with us, right? Yes. Yeah.
So we always call Teochew Anya.
Yeah.
People think that Anya means lady.
Yes.
But actually Anya means pretty and beautiful.
Oh, pretty.
Means pretty and beautiful.
Yeah, of course. You see, the three of us here. You know, yeah, maybe if you all agree, yeah, you can give us a thumbs up in the comment. Yeah, so Teochew Anya, yeah.
And then Teochew Anya is always known for being elegant, demure, gentle.
now that you start saying this, I think just now we speak a bit too loud, right? There must be more gentle, but she is really quite demure and gentle. Yeah, I'm not the typical. Yeah, I'm pretty loud. Yeah, so yeah.
And then there is a pageant that happens in 2017
Ooh.
that they actually look for a Miss Teochew.
Oh, Miss Teochew, interesting. I think we have we actually have a photo from the pageant itself. Yeah, so yeah, I think the association actually, right?
Try to organize this pageant so
So
that
that
the young
can
girls, young ladies will be able to know more about Teochew culture.
I see.
And one of it is get that bonus point to speak Teochew.
Okay, so it
Instead
kind
of
of
your Mandarin or Chinese or English.
sure. So it's also to let them kind of like uncover their roots and too bad we didn't know. I thought we would have gone to the beauty pageant. Yeah. But yeah, I think generally speaking, somehow they always say that Teochew Anya is very pretty. I think pretty as in like maybe it's because of also like you say the language, right? And that's why we are like gentle and more demure. That's the olden time. Yeah, all the Teochew Anya are like that lah. So it's pretty interesting. Anything to
And we always say in general, among all the dialects, the Teochew girls are
okay. KohLee, now we sit up a bit more. But actually, somehow I can actually recognize a Teochew Anya almost immediately. Yeah, it's actually quite distinct. Generally speaking, I must say that the most of the Teochew Anya are really quite pretty looking, and you can identify and recognize a Teochew. I mean, I can quite distinctively recognize a Teochew Anya on the road. Yeah, yeah. So that's a second fun fact about Teochew that we want to share with everyone. And if you also feel that Teochew Anya are generally quite beautiful, we super Hao-Lian now. Teochew face is all coming out. Yeah, please maybe share with us in a comment. So I myself, I also want to share the third so-called little fact, and this is something which is pretty well known, but while researching on this area, I found out something that I wasn't aware before, so that was very interesting. For those of us who are slightly older, around my age, I'm in my mid-40s, and likelihood you are, and if you are a Teochew, you are likely, would be staying in Hougang or would have stayed in Hougang previously. So actually, Hougang is known to be a Teochew enclave. So, I myself, yes, I was, basically, I grew up in Hougang. Okay? Interestingly, I have Jeanette here. Maybe later I want to ask them some questions. Jeanette is also in the area Punggol, right, Jeanette? And then Chi Wei is in Sengkang. Yeah, so previously, right? Yeah, so pretty much it's like, if most of the Teochew end up settling in Hougang, and when after they move on, they kind of move not too far off from the area. Like my own sister is also now staying in Sengkang. Most of my auntie and uncle are all in Hougang, or just slightly further is Ang Mo Kio area. And so, interestingly, because most of these Teochew Nang, who have moved from Shantou previously, and Hougang is one area that they chose to actually settle down. And but the other one that I have discovered. So, okay, actually, maybe there's this little slide that I wanted to share with everyone. Yes. how many of you all can identify with this rainbow flag in Hougang? I think now there are many rainbow flags in Singapore. Yeah, if this is actually one of the very iconic rainbow flag. If you know about this very famous rainbow flag in Hougang, can you also maybe put in a comment? Yeah, it's actually become one of the it's been a rainbow flag for many years, way before HDB decided to make the flat, like the design more interesting. And so people remember Hougang as, like, oh, the one with the rainbow flag. But the other part about Hougang Teochew, very interestingly, right, that while we are working on this program, is like it's also largely Teochew Catholic. This is something that I wasn't aware. Yeah, and we have a large pool. Likely if you are Teochew staying in Hougang, you are also a Catholic. That is actually because during the early days when the Teochew migrated from Shantou to Singapore, most of them are already Teochew Catholic. Yeah. So what happened is, and then later on, you realize that we have this church, right? If I can have the slide there, Nativity Church, yeah, Catholic Church. How many of you also are familiar with this building? Yes, this is actually one of the very famous church in Singapore, and also because of its architecture. You know, uh, and in fact, right, I think in 2005, it was actually gazetted by the National Heritage Board as a national monument. Yeah, it's gazetted as a national monument. So it's very interesting. Hougang, Teochew, and also largely Catholic community. And I must say that actually, just to share a little bit of a personal story, my childhood place is right across this church, and I grew up very familiar every week. During my primary school days, I have to go into this church because I was studying when I moved to Hougang, when I was 10 years old. My mom enrolled us in KohLee Innocent Primary School. KohLee Innocent, at that time before KohLee Innocent Primary, it was KohLee Innocent Girls School, which is a very small school right behind that church, So I was there, and then every week, obviously, being a Catholic school, we have to go into church. Yeah, so that was the church I went to, and very familiar with that area. So, that's the other little fun fact about Teochew in Hougang, and also, Teochew Catholic in Hougang. Yeah. Yes, for those of you who have just tuned in, please help us like and share our video. We are doing an episode, Get It Right, on all things Teochew, and we hope that you are enjoying the program so far. If you have anything to add on about anything that we have shared earlier, the Teochew Nang Ka Chng Ang, Teochew Nang very pretty, Teochew people mostly, all in Hougang. Please, if you have more stories to share with us, feel free to add in the comments. We would love to hear from you as well. Yeah, so moving on, we have another fourth fun fact to share with everyone, right? Yeah.
Okay, the next one is
Yeah.
always talk about the Chng Jing KohLee.
Yes,
It's not KohLee now, but they are really proud to be Teochew. Okay, the thing is, one of the fundamental describe Teochew is that we are actually most of the Teochew, how do I say, it's like show business. Just like for example, for my family, actually, last time, right, we own a business, we own the drink store. When I was young, my grandmother, she has a store in her place, a little drink shop.
I see.
That's why I help my relative when I was
Right.
my auntie, she also has the noodle store.
Right.
So actually, last time we do business.
And I think it's not just business, but Teochew are known to be really successful in trade and business, right? Yeah, really, yeah.
Actually, Mr. Lee Kashi.
Yeah, can we have the picture? Yes.
We see on the right is Mr. Lee Ka-shing, right? Actually, we are quite surprised, because we thought that he's a Hong Kong.
Yeah, Hong Kong. Yeah, I mean, he's based in Hong Kong. Yeah. Yes.
So later from, we found that he has actually a Teochew people. See? He's the co-founder and the CEO of Tencent.
Yeah.
You use WeChat, right?
Yeah.
Tencent. You see, you're so popular businessman.
Yeah. So yeah, these are prominent business figures who are also Teochew. Yeah.
We also have politics,
Oh,
politicians.
politics. Okay.
In fact, in Singapore, right, we have majority. Can we have the next slide that shows
Next
that
slide,
some ministers they are also Teochew.
Yeah. Actually, in fact, it's not some, right?
It's quite a lot.
And this is not all. Surprisingly,
Chng, we have Heng Swee we have Teochew,
Yang,
Chng. Yeah, last time used to be yeah.
Heng Swee Keat, yeah. And I think we haven't covered even all in this, right?
Yes. And we also have the next slide will show the another.
Yes, one more time.
Yeah, we also have the opposition. So we'll see the Low Kakia, Sipio, and
Lim. Yeah. Yes.
all these politicians, they are quite famous in Singapore, and yeah.
Actually, Mr. Low Tia Kiang is no stranger. I think that is how, in fact, how he has also won the hearts of mainly the Hougang people, the Teochew, especially because when I was staying there, I remember him really, actively going on the ground and speaking in Teochew to all the residents there. So he's always, trying his best to just, use Teochew to speak to all the residents. Yeah. So that was very interesting. Yeah. To actually, and then Cham Sitong as well, right? We found out. And I remember, when Jeanette was, when we were actually researching on this theme and topic, and Lee Kuan Yew actually, this is something Lee Kuan Yew actually specially brought up. In fact, he wrote about it, I think, in one of his books, right? He highlighted that at one point, I think in the 1990s, 1/3 of the cabinet ministers were Teochew, which is actually, that's a quite a high number of them. Again, KohLee, okay, so not exactly KohLee, yeah, but so that was very interesting. And Chewy, you found out something as well?
Not only the ministers, we also have celebrities.
Celebrity.
They are also Teochew. Yeah. Can I have the next slide?
I think that Chewy is really a very typical Teochew Anya because she speaks. It's very gentle and very soft. Next slide, please. Yeah. So these are our proudly Singaporean non-politicians, but
They are known to be celebrities.
Yes.
So the first one is George,
yeah,
the owner of Bread Shop.
yeah,
I think most people don't know.
yes.
Next one is from our media corp.
Yeah, of course, Ajie, yeah.
And then of course the last one you should know, Stephanie's son, who sing the Teochew song.
Yes. So actually, I didn't know that. Yeah, Stephen Sun Yanzi, Teochew as well. Interesting.
And also, in 1995, actually our media corp that time also have
that's
a drama series,
Mm.
潮州家族.
Mm.
Yeah, that's very talk about our Teochew culture as well.
Yeah. The drama, right? Yes.
So maybe I can share something.
Of course.
Since young, because for my family, we live together under one roof. This is the family, together with my uncle, together with my auntie as well. So actually, right, for me, right, I call my father, right, not Papa, okay? I call my father as Ate, okay? And then my mother, right, I'll call mother, I don't know why. But then my cousin will call her mother Ako. So I also call my kuku as Ako. Then they call their father as Atio. There's some saying that because there are two saying that one say that you cannot how do you say you cannot be close with your family. How should I say? There are some children when they're young, they are very difficult to die.
Okay.
So they cannot call their father as father or mother as mother. They have to call as relative. But for me, right, I call my dad as Ate. It's not because 我难带，我很乖的小时候。It's just a culture from my family.
So you have been calling your dad Ate. I think now that you mentioned, I've heard this from my parents as well.
Now there was once, right, my friend even Huh?
Oops.
Okay. Then at one time, my friend, my colleague, she ever overheard that I call my father Atsing, then she thought that I was being adopted.
所以是爸爸叫阿井就对了。
对，叫 uncle in 我们 Chinese。Then my another friend right who called 他的 father，因为他 father 排第五，他正着叫五井，他几井。there's different. That's my time. But of course, over the years now, my niece and nephew, they call my brothers as daddy or mother. It's during our times that we have this calling. So I'm not so sure. This time, I think this is no longer applicable to the young generation of Teochew anymore. It's maybe my time. Just to share.
Yes. So I think one last fun fact before we move on to the next segment is right. I think for most of the Teochew, you may be very familiar with this phrase, which is Teochew nang pa ti nang pa si bo xiang gang. Anybody who is familiar with this phrase, I think the young generation is not be familiar, but again, I grew up hearing about this before. Teochew, we are 自己人。打死也不用死 that is pretty much a meaning. And it's actually a very well-known phrase that kind of like connect and break down the wall of Teochew all over the world. Like, when you meet a fellow Teochew, then it's like, Katina, 你就我们you don't know that person, you immediately that connection. And then the 怕死过香港 the Katina 怕死过香港 apparently, right, in the olden days, right, it's actually like a code word, 是一个暗号嘛。或者 Teochew 那种私会党in Hong Kong, if they are in trouble, they will say "Katinang," and then it's like, okay, it's time to help the person. So it's actually a code word, And the 怕死过香港 actually is basically, I think there were in the early 18,000, it is like there were some major disaster and natural disaster and all, and the fellow Teochew came together and helped each other and things like that. So it's like basically trying to reflect the spirit of the Teochew people lah. So basically it's like Teochew nang, Teochew means 自己人, and 怕死过香港 is like pretty much we must actually defend and help each other. So that's the last fun fact that we would like to share with everyone. Now, enough of us actually talking and talking. I hope that like ourselves, we have also learned something new about the Teochew culture. I think the next segment that we want to move on, we want to actually play a little bit Qi among the three of us, Qi is actually the youngest. And, we found out that she's not very good in, although she's Teochew, she claimed that she's not very fluent in speaking Teochew. So actually, we have prepared some questions. There are two parts of it. We would like to basically have a little test for part one. And for audience here, if you are listening, feel free to actually make a guess. So we have some audio files that we have recorded. We're going to play, and then the first one, and what Qi has to do is she listens, and then she has to guess what is the sentence, and we'll review the answer on our screen very soon. Let's have the first audio sound for Qi.
行车大奖无，喜欢是一届月影。
Can we play it?
露台早咩个行车大奖无，喜欢是一届月影。
很长耶，很长。
Everybody can guess to see feel free.
Do you hear what happened yesterday and then do
No idea, is it? Okay, let's review. Anybody, if you know the phrase, you can try to make a guess. Can we hear it clearly? You can actually type it in the comment box as well. Okay? Okay, so just to help Qi, come, let's review our answer. It's gonna be at the running banner at the 你有看昨晚的红星大奖吗？喜欢哪一个艺人？乐開揸一屆硬車大唱歌，希望是一屆危機。Yeah, okay. Okay, let's move on to the next one.
我去巴萨行行，买淡薄菜甲肉转来。
要大声，大声。 再来。
我去巴萨行行，买淡薄菜甲肉转来。
我去巴萨走走，买一些菜回来。
Yes, okay, okay, quite close 啦。Let's review the answer. 我去巴萨走走，买一点菜肉回来。我去巴萨行行，买淡薄菜肉转来。Okay, this is also a language.
月是母亲节咯，你有过月叫阿妈去伫个庆祝无？
我有什么？
下个月是母亲节咯，你有过月叫阿妈去伫个庆祝无？
什么是贵妇？带我妈什么？
Okay, 带妈妈去 something right? Okay, let's review the answer. 下个月是母亲节了，你有计划带妈妈去庆祝吗？也该过是母亲节。你有计划叫阿妈去庆祝吗？
Actually 真的也不简单，
真的很难。
This is just for fun. Okay, next one. Yeah.
过清明节该来咧无？你有想过清明节该来咧无？
你有想清明节这什么？
Okay, well done. This one is very close. The answer. 你是否有想过清明节的由来 ？Yeah, okay. We are quite close on that one. I think the shorter one is easier. I think we have one more.
我上爱食肉燥面，放最最香蕉。
想吃大臭米，然后不知道了。
爱食肉燥面，放最最香蕉。
放很多姜。
Yeah, well done.
哦，
We have some. Okay, okay.
没有了，还有。
最水，这两日天气真热，爱食水。
哦，这几天很热。
Yeah.
这几天
天气很热，天气真热，爱食水。
爱食真水，
最。
爱啉。
你也是。
Last two. Okay.
卡车，今日天气真好，我要去东海岸踏车。今日天气真好，我要去东海岸踏车。
今天天气很好，我们去骑脚车。
Yes, but it's the place. 我们去东海岸。Yeah, actually, when I was I recorded this, and my dad was telling me 东海岸 is 东海岸 you know. 打卡车 Yeah. One last one.
车门二支条三斤领，车门是到第个月。
我听他们念。
四支条三斤领，车门是到第个月。
哦，你的衣服很美。Where's the tailor?
请问在哪里买 Okay, actually, Shiwi is not too bad. The last few sentences, she actually get it correct. Pretty much like half of it lah. Okay, 及格。Do you speak Teochew at home? You do, right? Yeah, but I think for a lot of us, at least I think our generation, do you speak Teochew at home?
I do, but not very fluent.
Not very fluent. I myself, I speak. I mainly speak Teochew with my parents, and even with my two sisters, I also speak Teochew. So yeah, I mean, I think, but when it comes to my children's generation already, yeah, I you are audiences who are Teochew as well, and if you are still speaking quite fluent Teochew, you know, we would love to also, yeah, we would want to find out if you are actually speaking Teochew at home. I think that's something that would be very interesting to know. Now, I think moving on, we have another segment to share. And we cannot, you know, when we talk about our culture and all, we definitely have to talk about food, right? Yeah, so maybe before we do anything, let's maybe just watch the first video. Yeah. Okay, yeah, so you know, actually, with the you know, there are couple of Teochew street food that fast, you know, disappearing, and over the weekend, we managed to visit Food Center. I think you may have seen the signboard just now, but you know, so it's at the Jalan Besar, right? Besar Food Center. Before we actually review one of the disappearing Teochew street food, can anybody guess actually what is the Teochew dish that you can find in Besar Food Center? Anybody know? You can actually share in your comment. Yeah. Let's go on to review to them what is the food available. Shall we have the next video? Yes. Okay. So I hope you can see from the video. Actually, there are quite a few Teochew traditional dishes, but we actually wanted to focus this. Anybody can actually tell us what did you see in the video and what we were picking up. It's none other than the pig trotter belly and actually the shark meat belly，就是那个猪脚冻，还有那个鲨鱼冻。Okay. Interestingly, maybe I can ask maybe Qi Wei first. Qi Wei, have you eaten actually 猪脚冻 before?
I eat before.
When?
But they only sell this in restaurants.
Okay. When is the last time you ate this dish? 2 years ago, right? It's not so often. 这个他打 okay,
Yeah. Seriously, I also ate it at restaurant.
Restaurant.
But mine is like pretty, don't know, 5 or 10 years ago. I mean, that was
quite long.
yeah.
Yeah. So you know, mainly let's talk about the 猪脚冻 first, which in Teochew is called le ta dang. You know, this is something that my granddad, who is 103 years old this year, he loved to eat, and every year my mom has to make it for him. In fact, last year during his birthday, I decided to attempt to make the dish myself, and I brought it for his birthday during my granddad's 102 birthday, and you know, he was really happy. And I want to share that it's really very laborious. It takes a lot of time to prepare this dish, which is why I think, you know, when Jeanette and Qi, we were chatting with the lady, auntie, the owner of the shop, she also shared with us that really is very laborious, right? Yeah. And then what happened is that, but they charge like a plate that you saw there only cost $5, you know. And basically, interestingly, right, I think for your Teochew cuisine, right, is very known to be very mild flavor. 我们吃的是很清淡 Usually it's like braising, steaming, poaching. Yeah, and this 猪脚冻, seriously nowadays we really can't find around. Mostly in restaurants for sure. But in hawker center, this one at the Besar Food Center, I believe is one of the few left, isn't it? And she only charged us like
$5.
$5. I mean, not just us, but she's selling $5 only. And in fact, I think when Janet and Chiwei was trying to buy from her, and then we said that we want to film, and then we said that we are Teochew Nang. She was so happy that in fact she wants to give us free, and then she keep giving us a lot of food on the table. There were additional things on it as well, right? So yeah, I'm not too sure if audiences who are watching now, are you familiar with this dish, the Teka Tang? If yes, have you eaten? And if you have eaten, can you share with us? Do you like it? It's a dish that I seriously cannot appreciate when I was young, because I keep thinking, how can it something be the 咸咸的, how come must be so cold and jelly? And I totally cannot appreciate. But I think when I grow older, I really quite like it. And then you have to eat with the parsley, right? And it comes with the chili sauce. Yeah, so it's actually, I find it quite tasty.
Actually, it's my first time. I think it's our first time. We did it at the hawker center.
Yeah.
You ask me, auntie 用的都是 the lady boss use 她讲过是 fresh ingredient, so it's really taste. I would say it's not the same standard as restaurant.
Yeah.
So it's actually quite nice. Like Stephanie, every last time we used to eat it.
I think it's something as you grow older.
Yeah. You last time you don't used to appreciate, but now you just like the food that
Yeah. So this hall is actually a 老字号, and it's a third generation that's passed on to now the third generation. I think they've been at the Besar Food Center for almost 20 over years, right? From what we understand. And from Akong time, I think it's like close to 100 years of history, So it's very interesting. But I think also very interestingly, when we were trying to find, the Tang, when we found this stall, a bonus for us is actually we also get to taste the shark meat jelly, 是那个鲨鱼冻. Okay? And in fact, if we never find out about this, I totally forget actually, shark meat is also one of the very prominent Teochew, part of the Teochew cuisine. And only until we kind of chat about this, I very clearly remember when I was younger, my mom will always 炒鲨鱼肉给我们吃. How she cook it is 鲨鱼, 然后甜菜, yam cai, and with chili. Is that, have you all had any, do you all eat shark meat? You do? How does she cook it?
I think she stir fried also.
Stir fry? Yeah. So I almost forgot until we come to this hall. And bonus, the owners actually did it as a shark meat jelly, and it was really very tasty, because what happened is the chili that they use for the tang is different. For the shark meat one, they actually use a bit more sweet, right? Sweet chili, and then they actually crush a peanut with it. So it's really nice. And for those of you who are curious about it, please go on and give it a try. Okay, so that's one of the really fast disappearing Teochew street food. And actually today, right, before we end the show, we also have brought along some snacks, okay, that we want to share with everybody. How about you? You want to talk a little bit before we end and we can start eating? Yeah, okay, that's correct. Anything you want to introduce to us? Yeah.
You can see the angkuku is very common. You can see the market. You can buy in the market. Then this is and this is the peanut candy.
Yes.
So most of these are all for worship and offering. But now we all offer like your usual snacks, usual daily snacks.
What else?
We have.
This is my favorite.
This is only.
KohLee, right? Yeah, yam paste. This is something that whenever I go for wedding dinner, especially if it's a Teochew wedding dinner, I will always, flip to the menu and say that, will they be having only as dessert? Yeah, it's really one of our favorite Teochew dessert, right?
And it's very hard.
Yes, it's a lot of work. Janet, you want to share a little bit about Teochew? What do we call this?
Oh, this one I also today just found out. Aboleng.
Aboleng,
Yeah,
yes.
that's the boss told me that aboleng means tang yuan.
Yes.
Yeah. So actually for this tang yuan, right, as you can see the color, the purple color one, he told me that he actually used the fansu. Fansu to do the
Sweet potato.
potato. Yeah, it's very nice. And then the boss was saying that actually he said one no, I say one. He said the aboleng is actually started from Teochew, okay?
Everybody came to.
Then he said that he started the aboleng. Then after that, other direct group follow. Yeah, that's what the boss told me. And then usually for Teochew, right, we eat it on the 15th, the Tang Yuan Chi. So, 这是元宵节，
对，
的冬至。I think this is a kind of celebration. I think not only I think other direct groups also eat.
Yes. I think obviously there are with these few snacks, with the exception of the oni, because it's really very pretty much a Teochew. That the rest they all have their little different variation. Like the peanut candy, I know that the Teochew we will put in more lard, 那个猪油. That's a very distinct part of the Teochew peanut candy. Which is this one. Yeah, like we mentioned, all of it is during our Teochew the offering and pai. These are pretty much snacks that we will be offering. Yeah. So if you have also tasted any other Teochew snack recently that you can share with us, please feel free to put it in a comment. We will also love to hear from you. There are a lot of actually delicious Teochew food, but we can go on for days and we won't be able to finish. So yeah, that's the end of our program for today. We hope that you really have enjoyed the episode on all things Teochew by the three Teochew Ania. Anything you want to share, Janet?
I just feel that every sessions of this Get It Right, really like makes us understand maybe the topics. I think it's really interesting, and also interesting that we go out and really interview the people.
Yes.
So I really put our next episode.
Yes. You will.
Yeah, I'm having fun too.
Yes, how do you like this? Yeah. We really have a lot of fun. Creating a really Get It Right program, and we look forward to more interesting, touching on more interesting topics. And if you would like to be part of us and come and do something together with us, please put it down in the comment, and maybe we can do something together as well. So really, we look forward to our next episode of Get It Right, and have a good evening, and see you next time. Bye. Remember to like and share our video. Bye.